What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we have a horror movie, a spoiler-free review of a new Netflix film that just came out called Remember. Let's check it out. So I'd never heard of this film, and to be honest, I haven't really had that much faith in Netflix horror films, but occasionally something might pop through that I might want to watch, or a TV show or something like that. They've definitely been delving into different countries for different types of movies to kind of make the service more appealing on a wide scale, which some may say might be the reason why they charge so much. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, Netflix has put out this new movie called Remember. Member. It is a movie that is about 6 students at a high school. They go to class one day and then wake up in the middle of the night at school where they're being hunted down by this red child who is slaughtering them left and right. They soon find out that they're a part of some sort of weird creepypasta sort of game or curse called the Body Search, where they have to find pieces of a hacked up child's body. I don't know why I'm laughing. They have to find the pieces. They have to find the pieces of the child and put it back together in a casket. And while they're doing so, they're still gonna die, wake up the next day, and repeat the same day over and over and over until they find the entire body. You find that out pretty quickly. This is actually based on a manga. I looked it up because I was curious about it. It's actually called Karada Sagashi, and there's like 17 mangas on it, and it did pretty well as far as manga go. Now, this is directed by Ichiro Husami, who is responsible for doing quite a few sort of interpretations from paper or anime to live action. He also has done TV shows for Netflix like Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which was like a 4-episode sort of series that is all 3D animation, like really good looking animation. And then he also is working on the new Resident Evil Death Island, which is considered a movie, a full 3D animated movie that looks pretty damn good. Some of the writers on this are Katsutoshi Moraes, who did the manga, and also Welzard, who did the manga as well. They sort of teamed up to do it. So what did I think about this movie? I thought it was actually pretty good. It's different, and there's a lot of tonal issues that may not translate well to America, because there's something in this show that does like a lot of animes that I've seen, which has 2 different tones. Very messed up, carving people up into tiny little pieces, and super happy, hey, we're having a good time, friendship is important kind of message. Those 2 tones are probably going to divide a lot of people, so I'm just going to tell you right now, if you can't handle 2 very disparate different tones, or perhaps don't like anime, the toning in this is going to be really off for you and you may not like it. Now, personally, you know, obviously the tone of this film is so dark and dire that you're kind of hoping for it to be more dark than that. And so when it shifts into this sort of happy tone while the kids are sort of learning about why this is happening and investigating it and coming up with smart plans to try to avoid this red girl, who, by the way, is destroying them in multiple different ways over and over and over again, which personally I think is an amazing sort of concept. Like, we've seen movies like Happy Death Day, and a lot of people are going to compare it to that, obviously, because they're reliving a special day, but really that's just kind of like the small part of it. There's like this whole thing going on, and it really is kind of interesting, because when you watch a horror movie and you see someone die, that's pretty much it. You don't get to see them die in multiple different ways, multiple different times. That's it. Well, this movie is able to up the death count many ways, many different creative ways, by having this premise of repeating the same day and going back to the same school at night. So I think that's actually kind of cool. Now, the deaths are a lot of CGI. You know, there is some practical stuff going on in here, and there is some monster work in here that I won't spoil for you that is pretty fucking fucking creepy, to be honest with you. But again, there's that tone where the kids are, you know, these are like kids that don't even know each other or get along, and they're sort of having to team up to become a team that isn't supposed to be a team to fight this fucking situation and try to get out. And while they're doing that, there's a lot of happiness going on. Let's just say the kids are getting pretty excited about dying every night. So again, it's going to be really up and down with that tone. But I think, like I said, if you've watched anything like Chainsaw Man or, you know, something with like really dark and really happy dichotomy, I guess, in a movie or TV show of anime, you might actually not have an issue with it at all. You may not even notice it and it might be normal to you. But for those who will, what can I say? Not every movie is for everyone. Or so recently, I did some reviews on two movies that I explained very clearly was not gonna be for everyone, but I think people think that there's an answer to if a movie's good or bad. Everyone has a different opinion, a different starting point, a different understanding of film because they've watched different films that maybe I have, or etc. So everybody's going to have a different opinion and there is no right answer. My job is to try to explain to you what the movie's about, so maybe you'll take the dive and find something that you'll love, because I love to talk about this shit. So for those of you who are freaking out on me on Skinamarink and fucking Out the Outwaters, please guys, it's okay if you didn't like it. I don't mind. And there is no right answer. This is a movie I think that will definitely split people up. Maybe not as much as those two movies, but Remember is a pretty cool play on words. Think about it. A girl has been hacked to pieces and you got to find all the pieces to remember, not dismember, but remember. And also kind of, there's a double entendre there. But yeah, I actually kind of had a really good time watching this film. It was a little different. It's probably more along the lines of a entertainment film than something that is going to be super scary, but there are elements in the film that are actually really well done, and it's something that I've never seen before, and it definitely reminded me of like a creepypasta mixed with like something else, with like Happy Death Day. And as you know, Happy Death Day was one of those movies that had kind of a happy tone to it as well. This manga was actually written back in 2014, so long before Happy Death Day. So the obvious comparison, I mean, who took what? I mean, I don't know, because it wasn't in English either, so it's probably just an idea that a lot of people were thinking about. But I think it works well here in this story. I would probably give this movie a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. I would definitely rewatch this, and I would definitely add it to my collection to watch again, because really fun stuff that happens in this movie. And there's like, the last half of the movie is pretty wild when it comes to monster work and stuff. You know, yes, there is CGI. Yes, there is some kind of silly nature stuff in it, but it's kind of violent. It's kind of bloody and it's kind of weird. And I like all of those things. So it might be for you if you're open to different ideas. If you're a fan of the manga and didn't like this movie, the manga is probably better than the movie. But image-wise, fun-wise, character-wise, I had a really good time. And I think you might too. So you might want to check it out if you have a Netflix subscription. Hopefully they'll bring it to Blu-ray at some point. I'd definitely love to watch it again. So, oh, and if you did like the movie, I would stick around till after the credits. There's a little bit of extra there, so. But thank you guys so much for coming by. I would love to hear what you think about this movie. And have you seen the trailer? Check it out. See what you think. Honestly, I think it's a pretty cool concept and a pretty easy watch. Didn't waste any time getting started. So that's always a good thing. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, long live the boys.